Right. So I've got my coffee, and I said I want to do one of these for quite a while. Just to sit down, have a coffee, and do a proper catch up with you guys. Nothing too polished, nothing too structured. I do have a teleprompter just to keep me in line. But nothing that sounds like I'm trying to sell you a timeshare or anything like that, because that's not the case with any of my videos ever. There's always bits going on in the background of the channel, though. So there's always stuff in the background. Like, yeah, things I'm editing, things I'm planning, things I've started, things I've got half finished, and things I have sitting, waiting in my head for the right moment to actually do and film. And I think this is just the easiest way to kind of talk through it all properly so that it helps me and informs you. So instead of trying to wedge little updates into the middle of a walking video somewhere when I'm half distracted or not paying attention, I just wanted to be able to pop it into a video here and see how everybody reacts to it. Like, I also wanted to be able to talk a bit easier with you guys where I'm not doing something. This makes more sense to me. And before I get into any of the actual catch up side of it, I really want to say thank you properly, because at the time of recording this video, the channel is somewhere around 85 to 90 subscribers, which is somewhere around that. It's blown my mind. It sounds completely mad to me. This isn't in some sort of a fake humble way, or I genuinely mean that. It can't be fake humble about it, 90 subscribers. But I'm honestly shocked there are more than 5 people watching this channel. That's probably more what I expect to start as, like 5. A few, like, I thought I might get a family member or two, although I haven't actually really told any of them about this yet. I thought I might get a couple of randomers who just like travel videos, and I think that's what I've picked up. But I've picked up like the best of them. And I thought that would be kind of it. So the fact that there's actually somewhere around 85 to 90 people here now, that's mad. That's completely mad to me. I was like, when you say subscribers, it's really easy to make it sound like it's just a number on a screen. But that's not what subscribers are. Like, your subscribers are actual people. Actual people deciding that, yeah, okay, I want to watch more of this guy's stuff. Which, actual people coming back because they want to see another 360 video I've done, or another flat walking video that I've done, or another bit of this series that I'm in. And I mean, like, that means so much to me. Genuinely, it does. So, to everybody who's subscribed already, honestly, thank you. Thanks for being here this early. Thanks for giving the channel a chance. And thanks for watching the slower kind of videos that I do. Thanks for getting what I'm trying to do, because I know it's not the loudest style of video in the world. It's not like gaming where I'm able to just shout out stuff and get attention that way. There's no fake hype on this. Like, I'm not trying to make everything in this channel be the greatest moment in recorded history. It's just meant to feel like you're there with me, or here with me in this conversation. That's always been the idea. You come along with me, we walk through somewhere, I tell you a bit about what I notice, a bit of the history that I know of the area, and a few random thoughts that I've had either before or after or during a voiceover. Whatever catches my eye, whatever seems worth saying to me. And hopefully by the end of it, the whole thing feels like you've actually gone somewhere with me. That's the goal. The goal is that it feels like we've been on a bit of a trip. So the fact that there are already people here who seem to actually like that and like my format with it, that's cool. That's cool. And I really hope you guys will keep watching as well, because there is so much more coming. The cruise series, I've mentioned this once or twice before. The cruise series is a big one. That's what I'm right in the middle of editing right now. You can see a bit of that going on behind me. And there's loads to come from that. Like, trust me, loads. I mean, drink this. But even before I get that finished up, there's more series already planned. Some smaller ones, some bigger ones. A few bits I've quietly managed to line up in the background. I'll get into that later. Um, so if you're already here, stick with me. There's so much more on the way. Like, it's ridiculous how much more I've got planned. And that's actually one of the reasons that I wanted to do this kind of video right now. Because, once you've got people subscribing, even at this stage, even at this early stage, I think it's nice to talk properly with everybody every now and again. I mean, like, the channel's been going for 6 months now. So not everything has to be a big production. This is just a check-in. And like 6 months, 85 to 90 subscribers. Wow. This is just a coffee and a catch-up though. And to be fair, that probably sums up the channel quite well anyway. There's a lot of coffee, a little bit of travel, some hard work, and a whole lot of editing. And it's not always in that order, let me tell you. Some days it is mostly coffee. Other days it is mostly travel. I like those days. Some days it is mostly me staring at a loading bar thinking, oh my God, this is my evening. What am I going to do? But sure, look, that's the way it goes. So I thought I'd just run through what's actually been happening, what's finished, what I'm in the middle of, and what's still coming up ahead. There's a few little bits behind the scenes in this. You can kind of see my editing space and stuff, and a little bit of what's going to be coming up next. So there's nothing too dramatic. This is just a proper, real catch up. So, the first obvious thing, Vegas is done. Finally. That series took way longer than I expected. Not in a bad way. I know a lot of you enjoyed it, just in a very real way. There was a lot going on there. It was like a lot of footage, a lot of different types of footage, and there was a lot of walking footage. So a lot of extra stuff. There was a lot of moments where I was there, and when I was filming, I was thinking like, yeah, I'll definitely want that later, which is great in the moment. But then later arrives, and you realize actually have to deal with all of that footage. And Vegas is one of those places where there's just always something going on. Even when nothing's really happening, there's still something happening. There's noise, there's lights, there's signs flashing at you, there's people doing very, very strange things. There's 10 things in frame at once, especially in a 360, because you got to look everywhere. There's something off to the side you didn't notice the first time. It's just that kind of place. Someone give me a funny look, maybe. It's all fun that way. So when you bring all of that home, the editing side of it, it's not easy. You've got the strip walks, you've got Fremont Street, Cartzilla, you got all the little bits in and around that, and it just turned into a much bigger job than I had in my head when I was actually filming on the streets in Vegas. I think that happens a lot with travel footage, though. When you're on the trip, you're thinking more in moments. Like when you're at home, you're thinking in the bloody workload. Like those two things are very, very different things. So yeah, Vegas was a bigger job than I expected it, but it's done now. It's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling, you know, because there is something so satisfying about finally getting a full series over the line and knowing that that's done and done properly. I didn't have to do it. I didn't rush it. I didn't just throw something up because I got sick of looking at it. I did it properly, and I spent time at it. And it's also good to clear that backlog as well, because like there's so much footage. Like when you've got that unfinished footage, it's just there, and it's there. And even if it's really good footage, if it's just sitting there, yeah, I can get to you. So getting the Vegas series wrapped was amazing. In a perfect world, that would have been it for a while. I would have been able to take a break. And yeah, it would have been fantastic to be able to take that break. It's a small pause, maybe 2 to 4 weeks, bit of air, pretend that I'm a normal person for a while and have some fun in the evenings and the weekends. But that didn't really happen because pretty much straight away I was into the cruise edits. Because the cruise was actually a really short amount of time after Vegas. So there's no real clean break there. Vegas is done and straight into the cruise series. And the cruise footage is a completely different feel. So it's been getting my head into the headspace has been fun as well. But that's the main thing with it. Vegas was loud. Vegas was chaotic. Vegas was full of things trying to get your attention. Like the amount of times I had to pan over and pan back and pan up and pan down just to see what I was looking at. Crazy. The cruise is completely different rhythm. It's not quiet, but it's a much easier pace. It's a different atmosphere, different kind of video out of it. And there's a lot in the cruise series too. Like that's the other thing. It's not just one video, or it's not even just one type of video. Like you've got the port days, so you're walking around the port towns. You've got the ship tour. You've got the bar crawl. You've got the different bits of the trip that all need to become their own thing, whilst still feeling like part of the same overall run. So I've gone from finishing one big series straight into another one with a totally different feel to it. It's hard enough to get that going in your head sometimes. And I'm still shaping that as I go. So like the cruise videos will be a work in progress. That's probably the best way to put it. Because like I can have a rough idea in my head of how it should go. Something that makes sense, something that I had maybe planned when recording it. But what comes there could be a completely different tone in that video. And you don't really know until you're in the edit. You only kind of find the proper way that this works when you're making it. That makes sense. I think that makes sense. The parts come together nicely. Like other bits can need messing around. Other bits can surprise the hell out of you. Some things that you thought would be really simple and would be a really straightforward video just don't work. And other things that you thought were going to be really rubbish, like look amazing. So that's where I'm at now. That's where I'm at with the cruise videos. The cruise series is in progress. No real break after the Vegas, so straight into the next thing. Kind of the story of this channel, really, isn't there? There's always another thing just sitting there because I plan my videos that way to have more work ahead of me than has gone out. And all of that, as glamorous as it all sounds, happens around my 9 to 5 job. So that's the reality of it. So I think it's worth saying that, without turning this into some sort of a big, massive speech about hard work and sacrifice and all of the rest of that, like this is just life. That's all it is. The channel fits around my real life, and that's the truth of it. Some evenings are fantastic. I sit down, I'm in the mood, I got my edits going, and you're flying. You're having a great time. Other evenings, it does take a bit more convincing. It takes a bit more coffee. To be honest, you finish work, you sit down, you look at the timeline, and sometimes your brain is just there for it straight away. Other times it kind of isn't, and you need to get yourself into that headspace, and like things are going on around your house and everything like that. But that's all right. I think if I made too big a deal of that, I'd sound like I'm complaining, and I'm not. I'm really, really not. It's just part of the setup. Like, this isn't happening in some magical little content bubble where I have endless time and everything's always flowing perfectly. It's not. It's really not. It's fitted in where it fits in. And that's the honest version of it. Like, that's the truth of it. And to be fair, a lot of the process is not even what people would picture as editing. I think what people picture as editing is me over here using buttons and all of that. There's loads more of messing around in between. There's file transfers, renders, exports, moving stuff from one place to another, checking if something is actually saved where it was supposed to save. Good job, Windows. Opening one program, then another, then back again, then waiting, then doing another version. It's not exactly a glamorous task editing. There are evenings where you can be fully at this for hours. And when my wife asked me, "Oh yeah, so what did you get done tonight?" I kind of have to answer like, "Yeah, nothing happened." Even though I was flat out, but because sometimes the progress is it's just invisible. And it's invisible until the very end sometimes. So then when things start to click and the whole lot of this starts to come better, and that's usually how it goes. For a while, it feels like clips, bits, loose pieces, half a shape. And then at some point, without much warning, it starts becoming an actual video, a bit of a story, and you've got your voiceovers happening and stuff like that. And suddenly you feel much, much better about life. And that's usually the turning point for me. And that brings me into the 360 side of things as well, because that still takes a good bit of shaping. Everything gets made twice, really. That's probably the easiest way to explain this, because you've got your 360 version, and that comes first. That's what comes straight out of the camera. That's everything. That's all you can see around you. It's amazing. It's so immersive, and you can take it in from wherever you want. You can look at whatever you want. And then after that, I'm going back in now to make the flat version. Now, that's where the reframing comes in. So that's where I'm deciding what should be on screen. I'm deciding what I think you guys will really want to see, and how the shot should move, and what you're really going to want to be focusing on. So whether I need to have a wider shot, or whether I need to have zoomed in a bit more, whether I need to move, or whether I need to just stay. So even though it's the same footage, it's not really the same job. And actually, that's probably a good point to actually mention something that I'm very, very excited about. I've just gotten my hands on what I think is going to be an absolute game changer for the flat videos and the 360 videos as well. A DJI Osmo Nano camera. So I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing what this little camera can do for these videos. It's a tiny little camera, so hard for people to see, great for my type of footage, because up to now, the flat videos and 360 videos, they've been different. Sure, they've been different, but they haven't been as different as I would like them to be. So this is going to help me to be able to push that difference. A lot of time the flat version, it it came out of the 360 video. It had to. It's all I had. So that works, but it also meant that there were limits, that there were things that I thought I got in shot that maybe I didn't. Now, though, for anything that hasn't been recorded yet, I can bring in way more points of view than I had before. POV shots, up close shots, more little angles, more cutaways, more proper flat video moments that won't be visible in the 360. I don't know why I did that for 360. Does that make sense? Maybe it's because I hold it behind me. Anyway, that's something I've wanted for a while, because I do think that the two formats should feel more distinct from each other. They should overlap, obviously. I mean, it's the same trip, it's the same place, and I'm hoping the same general experience and vibe, but they probably shouldn't feel like the same dude dressed in different clothes. You know what I mean? I want the flat videos to have their own identity a bit more, and this should help with that in my mind, anyway. So anything I haven't recorded yet should start opening up a lot more. That's exciting, isn't it? I think it's exciting because even when you're in the middle of like loads of editing and you have loads of footage, and this is just going to add more to that, it's nice to have something new that I can kind of slot into this area that'll change things up a bit. So maybe I'm going to be able to throw in a bit of food or a sign that I saw or something I was reading. So yeah, that's one of the more interesting things in the background for me at the moment. It's something that's giving me a little gadget to play with, and I love little gadgets. It won't magically make everything easier. It's probably going to make it tougher, if anything, but it should make the flat videos more fun to make and more interesting to watch as their own little thing. So the burps. As for what's still left, there's still around 12 videos to go in the cruise video. So the cruise series, there's loads ahead yet. Don't worry, I'm all right with that. Plenty of work. I'll be kept busy. I'm not in a panic over it, and I'm not trying to sprint through this just to get the queue emptied up. That's not how I work. I'd rather work through these things properly and let everything become what it becomes. Like, I want it to be right. That sounds very grand. I want it to be right. But you know what I mean. I'd just rather do them right. Because, once these videos are out there, they're out there. And if I rush something, I'm only going to annoy myself later. So there's still a fair bit to go on them, which is fine. I'll get them done. Don't worry. And there's something kind of nice about having that much ahead of me as well. It means that I've got work and that there's still a good run in the current footage. Still plenty left in the tank. Do you know what I mean? So the cruise series, loads more there for people to watch, and more for me to work with. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, like I said earlier, some days it is a bit of a grind, but some days it's great. That's probably the fairest way to put it. I don't want to overdo the whole, God, this is such a hard work angle. And tell me if I am, by the way, because this is still something that I really, really enjoy. This shouldn't feel like a lecture about how difficult my life is. I mean, like, it's travel videos. I'm traveling. I'm having fun to do this, and I'm very aware of that. But at the same time, I wanted to give you the idea that there's a process to it, and some evenings it's a bit tougher than others. Other evenings, when it's all coming together, I got my headphones on, and you kind of get that feeling of, yeah, this is in the groove. What dance moves? Where did they come from? And what happens, it is worth it. It is. That's the bit that keeps everything moving for me, because the whole point of this channel was never just to put videos up for the sake of it. You know what I mean? It was to make something people actually enjoy. Something that you guys enjoy spending time with, that you want to watch, and that was always my goal. Not just showing the places, that's easy. Not just taking trips off my little list and saying, here I am again in this place. It's not that. I want to make videos that feel like you've actually come along with me. I think I've been achieving that. Let me know. And that's what I want from it. So when a video lands right, that makes the whole thing worthwhile. When people are commenting and talking to me and telling me that they enjoyed it, I love that. I love that. That's great support. I should probably mention something new as well that I've set up. I've started a Patreon. Now, straight away, this is not me trying to turn the whole channel into some big sales pitch. Trust me on this. I'm not going to start rattling a tin can every 5 minutes looking for my bit of change. That's not what this is at all. There's no obligation at all to get involved with it. It's there. It's an additional service. The videos are still the videos. The channel is still the channel. Nothing is changing there. There's nothing exclusive. This is just for anyone who enjoys what I'm doing here and maybe wants the option to support it a small bit. That's all. Like, you'll probably see a little flashcard for it in the future videos, just at the start of the videos, maybe at the end. I'm not too sure where yet. Just so people know it's there. But it's very much just that. An option, not an expectation. At the moment, there are 2 tiers in it. There's a free tier, and then there's the coffee fund. So, for now, they are the exact same thing. Keeping it simple. I don't want to be forcing anybody away by not giving them all the same stuff. The only real difference is that the coffee fund tier is there for people who are so inclined to buy me a coffee, basically. keep the channel moving along, keep me caffeinated. And that kind of felt like the most honest way to do it, really, because sometimes I just like to go out and get a nice coffee from my local coffee shop instead of making it at home. And the channel does kind of run on coffee, probably to a slightly unhealthy amount. So that's what it is. Nothing complicated, nothing locked away behind it, no pressure, just a simple way for anyone who wants to support the channel to go ahead and do that if they want to. And if not, that's fine. Watching the videos, subscribing, leaving a comment. You guys know I love a comment. And coming along for the next trip, that's all that really matters. So that's also why I appreciate any support around the channel. Likes, comments, people subscribing. It's all done. The coffee fund would be a bonus. I still like calling it that because it sounds exactly like what it is. There's no dramatic branding, no pretending it's some massive operation. Like this is it. This is where the magic happens. It helps with the coffees, and the channel does run on coffee, as I said, to a suspicious degree. So if it covers coffee, I think I'll be very happy. That's more or less my view on it. And more than anything, it's just a nice vote of confidence. I think the first time that somebody actually does that, and I get to buy a coffee with it, it's gonna be amazing. Same with subscribers, really. Same with the comments, and really the same with anyone who comes back to watch the next video. It it adds up to the same thing for me. Like knowing that, hey, people are into this. They want a bit more of it, and I have a reason then to go out and make another video. That's a lovely place to be in, isn't it? Especially this early on. Now, one thing I still don't think I've ever properly explained, and this probably fits into this kind of video better than anywhere else, is how the trips actually come together. So these trips, they don't just get pulled out of thin air, because from the outside, it probably just looks like I book something, pack a bag, grab a camera, and off I go. And it really isn't that simple. I don't think I've ever actually explained how these trips come together in any of my videos. Because from the outside, it probably just looks like, yeah, sure. He booked the flight and off he went. Not that hard, is it? But it's not really that simple. Most of it starts with me sitting right here, scrolling through flights again and again and again, trying to find something that doesn't wreck my 9 to 5 job Monday to Friday. And I work Saturdays too as well. And that's the first hurdle straight away, because it's not just about finding a cheap flight. It has to actually make sense around a normal work week plus a half a day on a Saturday. So you're looking at times, prices, connections, and you're going okay, so look, that's cheap, but it leaves at 6 a.m. on Friday morning, so I gotta take a day off for that. I can't do that. I don't have any days left. Or that one works timing wise, but no, it's twice the price for no reason at all. It's 3 hours later it's leaving, and you're just back and forward like that, trying to find some kind of middle ground that actually works. Anyway, and that's just the flights out of Cork, which, to be fair, you're not exactly spoiled for choice with. You might only have a handful of options out of Cork, and you do really only have a handful of options out of Cork. And you're trying to bend those into something that fits around your life rather than the other way around. Even the idea of a quick weekend away, that sounds so simple, doesn't it? But the flights don't always line up cleanly with a Friday evening out and Sunday back. They usually don't in Cork Airport, if I'm honest. There's always something slightly off about it. It's Thursday out, Friday early morning out, something like that. And then ferries. People always throw that option out as an option, oh, I should just get the ferry. Anything outside of going over to Wales from Rosslare, you're talking about long crossings. You're talking about getting a cabin. And the timings just don't match a normal weekend either. It's usually 4 or 5 days minimum to get something that works. So what looks like a simple little trip on paper ends up being a bit of a puzzle to actually make work around a real job in a real life. And that's before you even pick up the camera. Because then there's the conversation at home. Yeah, I think we've all had this one at some stage. Now, to be fair, the bigger trips like the cruises, Vegas, and that kind of thing, they are actual holidays. And I don't even organize those. Marianne does, my wife. And somehow she manages to find deals that I would never get near myself. I have no idea how this woman does it, but she gets some amazing deals. The incredible deals on some incredible holidays. So credit where credit's due there. Those trips are filmed with full permission ish and a lot of patience on her end because, in fairness, she's kind of putting up with me stopping our holiday every 5 minutes, trying to get a shot right, trying to get the correct shots or walk us down the right street so it's prettier. But it's the smaller trips that can cause the problems. And the minute I mention a quick trip, it's I might go, fair enough. I completely get it, but in my head I'm thinking, oh God, like this really isn't uh, a holiday. This is me walking around with a camera, trying to get good shots that the guys on YouTube or the girls on YouTube are going to really like, and not make a mess of it. And if we both go, then we're gonna have to sort the dog out as well. Who's gonna mind the dog? She's great, but like, where's she gonna go? And all of that side of it. So yeah, there's a fair bit of planning and a bit of negotiation behind every trip. I do enjoy it, like I genuinely do, but it's not as simple as it looks. It sounds like I'm complaining again. But I'm not. I'm not. After all of that, all the scrolling, the timing, trying to make things line up, I have actually managed to get two small trips sorted over the next while. Nothing massive, just the kind of short hops I was talking about. The ones that are awkward enough to make work in the first place. So they're going to be fun. One of them, Marianne's coming along for that. So that'll be a bit more balanced. It won't just be me rushing from place to place trying to get the proper shots and all of that stuff. It's going to be more of a breakaway, a very quick breakaway, but a breakaway. It's going to be a bit of a mix. I'm actually going to be really enjoying that. And I'll try and figure out how to turn it into a video for you guys at the same time so that you can feel like you've come along. The other one, though, was like Marianne was meant to be coming on. That's fallen through on her end, though. And that is after changing the whole thing. I'm not even going to the same place. I'm taking the same flight. But like it's not just the pace of this that's changed. I'm going to a completely different place. So what started out in my head as one idea has turned into something wildly different. It has the same kind of intent behind it, but it's nowhere near the same trip at all. I'm gonna leave that there for now because I don't want to give away too much, but it should really make for an interesting video when it comes out. The first of those trips will be coming up not long after the cruise series. So that's kind of the wider picture, really. Vegas is done. The cruise series is well underway. You've got a fair few videos still left to get through on that, but it is well underway. More trips are already lined up in the background, and now I've got a new camera in the mix as well, which should make the flat videos feel a lot more like their own thing going forward. I'm very interested to see how this all goes because I think that's one of the nicest parts of doing this at this stage. It still feels like it's growing. I mean, it is still growing. I only have 85 to 90 subscribers. So it feels like I'm figuring out what works best, what the channel wants to be, what I want it to be, what you want it to be, and what the videos can become. I like that. I like that it doesn't feel locked in. I don't feel trapped. I can do this. It feels like there's room to improve things, change things, add things, try things, make things better as I go. I'm not locked into the algorithm wants this or whatever the hell. That matters because I never want this to turn into something too polished or too stuffy. It this always has to feel like there's a person behind it. That's the whole point. It should feel like you're coming along with me, not sitting through me giving you a presentation on a blackboard behind me and using my laser pointer. So that's what I'm trying to keep in it. And hopefully these catch-up videos can be part of that as well. Just maybe a more direct way of checking in, saying, look, thanks for watching. So I can talk through what's happening. Talk a bit of nonsense, which I think I've done a lot of in this video, and keeping everything connected between the main series that are going on. So yeah, that's Coffee and a Catch-Up, episode 1, done and dusted. Bit of a proper update. A massive thank you. There's a little bit of behind the scenes without making it sound like I'm unloading my life story, hopefully. Let me know in the comments if I was a bit too heavy and all that. A little look at where the channel is now and also at where it's going next. And again, to everybody who's already subscribed, thank you so much. It still surprises me. It genuinely does. And I hope you'll keep watching because there's a lot more coming in this channel. The cruise series, the smaller trips, the bigger trips. We haven't spoken about them yet. The new angles with the flat videos, with the new camera, and whatever else I end up quietly lining up in the background. There's loads ahead yet. Absolutely loads. Anyway, look, I'll leave it there. I gotta get back to editing. My coffee is run low. And I gotta get back to pretending that I know what I'm doing because I have no idea. So I'll catch you in the next one, guys.